Hello and welcome to Let's Play Midnight Rogue by Graeme Davis. This is book number 29 in the Fighting Fantasy series. Here's the front cover. There we go. Okay, let's read the synopsis. Fighting fantasy books, over 10 million copies sold worldwide. Danger lurks in every corner of Port Blacksand, infamous city of evildoers. You are an apprentice in the Thieves' Guild of Port Blacksand. Tonight is the testing time, the climax of your training. Your mission is to find and steal a priceless gem, the Eye of the Basilisk, and the special skills you have learned will be tested to the limit. Many terrors lie in wait in the darkness of this evil city's back streets and alleys. Will you be able to accomplish your dangerous task? You have until morning to prove yourself. 2 dice, a pencil and an eraser are all you need to set out on your mission. You decide which route to take, which creatures to fight, and which dangers to risk. Cover and illustrations by John Sibbick. Okay, there's Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Again, I'll say it, they always look like they're on holiday somewhere. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Puffin Books Midnight Rogue. Port Blacksand, infamous city of thieves. Its reputation stretches from Zengis to Shazar. Just zoom in a bit. There we go. And you are one of the rogues for which Port Blacksand is famous, or at least you hope to be. Years of training by the Thieves' Guild are coming to their climax, the night of testing. I mean, how good are the police in this place? I mean, not only are there thieves, there's a whole guild, like a, almost like a university of thieves. I mean, sort it out. Come on. Anyway, years of training by the Thieves' Guild are coming to their climax, the night of testing. Like every other apprentice in the guild, you are set a test to decide whether you are fit to join the guild as a full member and make people's lives a misery. Your mission is to find and steal a priceless gem, the Eye of the Basilisk. The special skills you have learned as an apprentice will be tested to the limit tonight. Oh, blimey, what a tongue twister. By morning you will be a fully fledged thief or an outcast failure or worse. Evil creatures and terrors lie in wait in the darkness of Port Blacksand's alleyways. Will your skills be sufficient to accomplish your dangerous task? You have until morning to prove yourself. 2 dice, a pencil and an eraser are all you need to embark on this thrilling adventure, which is complete with its elaborate combat system and a score sheet on which to record your gains and losses. Many dangers lie ahead and your success is by no means certain. It's up to you to decide which route to follow, which dangers to risk and which adversaries to fight. Okay, there's a map of Port Blacksand. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's move on. It's the same page, and again the same page. Blimey. For some reason they copied that 3 times for some reason. Anyway, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone present Midnight Rogue by Graeme Davis, illustrated by John Sibbick, and published by Puffin Books. Okay, so we've done Phantoms of Fear. We're now on Midnight Rogue. Then after this, it's Chasms of Malice. Anyway, 1987 it was published. Brilliant. Okay, let's move on. Introduction. Before embarking on your adventure, before I start this, I'll put a timestamp, as they say, in the video description. That'll take you straight to the background information, and then another timestamp which will take you to paragraph 1. I'm going to do this game book, then I'm going to do a couple of video games. I want to do the MSX version of Golvelius, because I completed that for the second time a few weeks ago and it was really fun, and I want to do a video of it because I love Golvelius. Might also do the quote-unquote second Golvelius, which is really just a remake of the first, also on the MSX, but I'll think about that one. I also want to do one of my old favourite PS1/Sega Saturn/DOS games, which is Alone in the Dark 2. I also want to do that, which is like an early survival horror sort of game. I really enjoy it, and it's very nostalgic, so I want to do that as well. So I'm going to do this game book, Then I'm going to do Golvelius on the MSX, the first Golvelius, the original one. There were 3 Golvelius games. The first one was on the MSX, that's the one I'm going to do. Then there was the Master System one. Then they did an MSX2 one, which was more like the Master System version, which is... You could call it the third game, but it's, they're all really the same game. It's like a reimagining of it. There was no Golvelius sequel. Anyway, so I want to do that. Then I want to do Alone in the Dark 2. Anyway, let's read this introduction. Introduction. Before embarking on your adventure, you must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. While you have been taught during your apprenticeship that violence is not always the best way out of a situation, your training has included swordplay, and you can handle yourself reasonably well in a fight. To see how effective your training has been, you must use dice to determine your initial skill and stamina scores. On pages 16 to 17 there is an adventure sheet which you may use to record the details of an adventure. On it you will find boxes for recording your skill and stamina scores. You are advised either to record your scores on the adventure sheet in pencil or to make photocopies of the page to use in future adventures. Skill, stamina and luck. Roll 1 die, add 6 to this number and enter this total in the skill box on the adventure sheet. Right. Roll 1 die. Alright, we get a 6 first time, that was good. So we add 6 to that, and we that's our skill. So that's 12, that's good. Roll both dice, add 12 to the number rolled and enter this total in the stamina box. Alright, roll both dice. Nope, 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 nope. Anything over 10, or 10. There we go, 10. That was lucky. Right, so 10 plus 12 is 22. That's good. Okay, there is also a luck box. Roll 1 die, add 6 to this number, and enter this total in the luck box. Yeah, I know. It's you have to have decent stamina and skill and luck in these games, otherwise they're just too difficult. See Phantoms of Fear in the... Was that the last book? I can't remember. Yeah, that was very difficult towards the end. Anyway, roll 1 die and add 6 to it. No. Yes. Okay, so that gives us 12 initial luck. That's good. Alright, let's move on. For reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina and luck scores change constantly during the course of an adventure. You must keep an accurate record of these scores, and for this reason you are advised either to write small in the boxes or to keep an eraser handy, but never rub out your initial scores. Although you may be awarded additional skill, stamina and luck points, these totals may never exceed your initial scores. Your skill score reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise, the higher the better. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and magic are facts of life in the fantasy world you are about to explore. And the fantasy world, whose inhabitants I'm going to... The lives of whose inhabitants I'm going to make a misery, because I'm a thief and generally annoying. Battles. You will often come across pages in the book which instruct you to fight an opponent of some sort. Battles are conducted as follows. First, record your opponent's skill and stamina scores in the first vacant encounter box on your adventure sheet. The scores for each opponent are given in the book each time you have an encounter. The sequence of combat is then: 1. Roll both dice once for your opponent. Add its skill score. This total is your opponent's attack strength. 2. Roll both dice once for yourself. Add the number rolled to your current skill score. This total is your attack strength. 3. If your attack strength is higher than that of your opponent, you have wounded it. Proceed to step 4. If your opponent's attack strength is higher than yours, it has wounded you. Proceed to step 5. If both attack strengths are the same, you have avoided each other's blows. Start the next attack round from step 1 above. 4. You have wounded your opponent, so subtract 2 points from its stamina score. You may use luck here to do additional damage, see below. 5. Your opponent has wounded you, so subtract 2 points from your own stamina score. Again, you may use luck at this stage, see below. 6. Make the appropriate adjustments to either your opponent's or your own stamina scores and your luck score if you use luck, see below. Begin the next attack round by repeating steps 1 to 6. This sequence continues until either you or your opponent has been reduced to 0 stamina, death. Fighting more than one opponent. Sometimes you will find yourself under attack from more than one person or creature. When this happens, each will make a separate attack on you in each attack. I'll start again. When this happens, each will make a separate attack on you in each attack round, but you must choose which one you will fight. Attack your chosen target as in a normal battle. Against the other, you must throw for your attack strength in the normal way, but even if your attack strength is greater, you will not inflict a wound. Just count this as though you have parried an incoming blow. However, if your attack strength is lower, you will have been wounded in the normal way. Luck. At various times during your adventure, either in battles or when you come across other situations in which you could either be lucky or unlucky, details of these are given on the pages themselves. You may use luck to make the outcome more favourable, but beware. Using luck is a risky business, and if you are unlucky, the results could be disastrous. The procedure for using your luck is as follows. Roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is less than your current luck score, you have been lucky. Oh, this is interesting. It has to be less than. Is less than your current luck score, you have been lucky, and the result will go in your favour. If the number rolled is higher than your current luck score, you have been unlucky and you will be penalised. Interesting, it doesn't state what happens if it's the same. I'll assume it's like previous books, that if it's the same, it counts as less, so I'll do it the previous way, but it hasn't specified. This procedure is known as testing your luck. Each time you test your luck, you must subtract 1 point from your current luck score. Thus, you will soon realise that the more you rely on your luck, the more risky this will become. Using luck in battles. On certain pages of the book, you will be told to test your luck, and will be told the consequences of your being lucky or unlucky. However, in battles, you always have the option of using your luck, either to inflict a more severe wound or to minimise the effects of a wound your opponent has just inflicted on you. If you have just wounded your opponent, you may test your luck as described above. If you are lucky, you have inflicted a severe wound and may subtract an extra 2 points from your opponent's stamina score. However, if you are unlucky, the wound was a mere graze and you must restore 1 point to your opponent's stamina, i.e. instead of scoring the normal 2 points of damage, you have now scored only 1. If your opponent has just wounded you, you may test your luck to try to minimise the wound. If you are lucky, you have managed to avoid the full damage of the blow, restore 1 point of stamina, i.e. instead of doing 2 points of damage, it has done only 1. If you're unlucky, you have taken a more serious blow, subtract 1 extra stamina point. Remember that you must subtract 1 point from your own luck score each time you test your luck. Restoring skill, stamina and luck. Skill. Your skill score will not change much during your adventure. Occasionally a page may give instructions to increase or decrease your skill score. Stamina and provisions. Your stamina score will change a lot during your adventure as you fight and undertake arduous tasks. As you near your goal, your stamina may be dangerously low and battles may be particularly risky, so be careful. Your backpack contains enough provisions for 10 meals. Let's put that in now. So 10. Let me give it more space there. You may rest and eat at any time except when engaged in battle. The text will not tell you when you can do this. It is up to you. Eating a meal restores 4 stamina points. When you eat a meal, add 4 points to your stamina score and deduct 1 point from your provisions. A separate provisions remaining box is provided on the adventure sheet for recording details of provisions. Remember that you have a long way to go, so use your provisions wisely. And it does not state that I can't eat more than one at a time, so that's that. Luck. Additions to your luck score are awarded through the adventure when you have been particularly lucky. Details are given on the pages of the book. Remember that, as with skill and stamina, your luck score may never exceed its initial value unless specially instructed by the text. Equipment and potions. You start your adventure with the following equipment: a short sword, a leather jerkin and leggings, and a backpack. Let's put that in. So short sword, leather jerkin and leggings. Short sword, leather, jerkin, leggings, and what was the other thing? Whoops. And a backpack. Put that in there now. Backpack. Good. A hand lamp. Oh, there's more. A hand lamp made of a small pot of fat with a string wick. This gives you enough light by which to see in most circumstances without giving yourself away. A hand lamp, a torch, tinderbox. Okay, blimey. Hand lamp. Does he have the kitchen sink? Torch. Tinderbox, 5 gold pieces. Tinderbox, we have 5 gold. Let's put that in here. Let's hope I'm not the one who is pickpocketed. Let us hope that it be not I who am pickpocketed. No, let me say that again. Let us hope that it not be I who am pickpocketed. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Enough provisions for 10 meals. How and when you use provisions is explained above. Okay, we've done that one. In addition to this equipment, the Thieves Guild supplies you with a magic potion. You may choose one potion from the following list. Potion of Skill restores skill points. Potion of Strength restores stamina points. And Potion of Fortune restores luck points and adds 1 to your initial luck score. We're going to take the Potion of Fortune. So let's put that down in our equipment. Potion of Fortune. As opposed to the Wheel of Fortune. So restores, no, adds 1, yeah. Adds 1 to initial luck and then restores back to initial, there we go, initial luck score. Okay, good. These potions may be taken at any time during an adventure except when engaged in a battle. Taking a measure of potion will restore the relevant score to its initial level, and the Potion of Fortune will add 1 point to your initial luck score before you drink it. Each bottle of potion contains enough for 1 measure, i.e. a characteristic may be restored once during an adventure. Remember to cross the potion off your adventure sheet once you have drunk it. Remember also that you may only choose one of these potions to take on your adventure, so choose wisely, which is impossible the first time we read because we have no idea what we're going to go up against, do we? So, there's no way. It's just a guess, isn't it? Extra equipment. During the course of your adventure, you will have the opportunity to pick up a wide range of things, some of which may be useful to you later on in your adventure. As a thief, you have to be able to move quickly and quietly at all times, so you must be careful not to encumber yourself with too many items. You may never carry more than 6 items in your backpack at any time. It's interesting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just better put that in the information. We may carry no more than 6 items in our backpack at any one time. There we go. Your provisions count as 1 item, and your potion counts as another. Enter them in the first 2 spaces of the backpack box on your adventure sheet before you start. Note that your sword, any clothing, and any money that you are carrying do not count as backpack items. Okay. What about these things? Does the tinderbox count? I'm going to assume no, because it hasn't mentioned it. But I don't know where we're carrying them. Okay, so potion and provisions. So we better just make an extra box for like I'll call it backpack capacity. Backpack capacity. And I'll say 6 maximum. Maximum and minimum. Right. That used to amuse me when I was little. Oh no, wait a minute. I'll put backpack and then, yeah, 6 maximum. Capacity, yeah, capacity 6 maximum. Okay, so we're up to 2 at the moment because the stuff doesn't count apparently. Anyway, special skills. I suppose it does read extra equipment, so Anyway, special skills. As well as your skill, stamina, and luck, you have 3 special skills in which you have been trained during your apprenticeship with the Thieves Guild. Choose 3 skills from the following list and enter them in the special skills box on your adventure sheet. The skills are pickpocket, picklock, climb, sneak, hide, spot hidden, and secret signs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. At various points in your adventure, you will be asked whether or not you have a particular skill. This can be important, so keep a note of those you have and don't pretend to have those you don't. Okay, we're going to choose spot, hidden, sneak, and pickpocket. So let's do that. So, put another thing here that says read skills. So we're going to choose spot, hidden. I don't know why I'm... No, we'll keep it in capitals. Spot, hidden, sneak, and pickpocket. So there are special skills. Okay. Okay, and here's the adventure sheet, which I'm pleased to see has not been written on. At least the book from which it was copied wasn't written on. Anyway, here's the background. So there'll be a video stamp. Timestamp in the video description for this point, which is 20 minutes and 46 seconds. Anyway, background. You stand in the meeting room of the Thieves Guild of Port Blacksand. The room is crowded with pickpockets, beggars, burglars, cut purses, and thieves of all descriptions. All come to witness the test of apprentices. Where are the police? You know, at least do something about it. At least pretend to do something about this. This is ridiculous. There's a whole, like, a university of criminals here. I mean, it's worse than the mafia. I mean, at least they try to stay hidden. Anyway, Rannick, the master of the guild, stands in the middle of the room. Does any member here present know of any reason why this apprentice should not be tested according to the traditions of the guild? He says. Even though you know this is just a formality, your stomach knots as you wait for a challenge. When no challenge comes, Rannick turns to you. A week ago, he says, a merchant named Brass acquired a gem known as the Eye of the Basilisk. He will doubtless have it hidden somewhere in or around the city. His symbol is a coin. That is all the information you will be given. For your test, you must find and steal the Eye of the Basilisk. Dusk has just fallen outside, and you have until dawn to complete your test. Do you understand? You nod. Are we not going to consider the moral, the morality of this? I mean, what if it's his dead mother's? What if it has sentimental value? Don't steal his stuff. It's horrible. What is this? Anyway, then, says Rannick, it just remains for me to say, be careful, remember your training, and good luck. I mean, just one last thing. I'll stop saying it after this, I promise. But this city has a serious problem with crime if it has a whole place where criminals get proper training. And there's a guild, like it's some sort of, as I've said, a university of crime. I mean, something should be done about it. This is just ridiculous. I mean, eventually people like Brass aren't going to go to the city to want to do trade there. It'll just be a criminal wasteland because no one will want to be there anymore. This is just terrible. I don't like being a part of this. Anyway, the assembled guild members murmur their agreement as you leave the meeting room to collect your equipment. Although you have checked it a dozen times already, you go over it all one last time as you make ready to leave the guild. There are a sword, a few coins, a hand lamp, a torch, a tinderbox, some food, a magic potion supplied by the guild, and a backpack. Having satisfied yourself that everything is in order, you leave the Thieves' Guild by one of over a dozen concealed entrances and head into the darkened streets of Port Blacksand. And here's paragraph 1. So again, I will put a timestamp in the video description for paragraph 1. Here we go. As you leave the guild, your mind works quickly. I'll start again. Here's paragraph 1. As you leave the guild, your mind works quickly, listing the places where you might find some information as to the gem's whereabouts. Most of the rich merchants in the town have houses near the field gate. If you can find Brass's house, you may be able to find some useful information there. Then again, the Merchants' Guild is just across the market square, and if Brass is an important merchant, he's bound to have a suite of offices there. Finally, there's the Noose, the area of town around the Thieves' Guild. You hardly ever see a merchant there, but it's the best place in Alanzia for picking up all kinds of gossip and rumours. Where will you try first? The Merchants' Guild, turn to 129. Brass's house, turn to 156. Or the Noose, turn to 203. Right, that man there looks like a gorilla. I'm sorry, he does. That's a gorilla. That really is. I'm sorry. Don't know what that is. That looks like a clown without makeup. And that's it. Okay, not a bad picture, but he does look like a gorilla. Okay, where are we going first? We're going to go to the noose and turn to 203. Off we go. Alright. Okay, here we are. As you make your way along the noose, you think about likely places for picking up information. At the edge of the noose is a tavern called the Rat and Ferret, where thieves, beggars, and all sorts of people come to drink. Okay, well, clearly the beggars are false beggars if they're going to drink, aren't they? Blimey. The noose is always filled with beggars at any time of the day or night, and they see and hear all sorts of things. And on one side of the noose lives Madame Star, the clairvoyant. She spends her days in the market square telling fortunes, but at this time of night she would be at home. What will you do? Go to the Rat and Ferret, turn to 309. Try to find a beggar, turn to 26. Visit Madame Star, turn to 117, or leave the noose, turn to 387. We're going to try to find a beggar, and therefore turn to 26. Here we are. You walk quietly along the noose, looking for a beggar. All beggars in Port Blacksand are members of the Thieves' Guild, and they can be a very valuable source of information. After a little way, you see Bargo the Wheeler trundling towards you along the darkened street. He was a soldier once, but lost both his legs in a war many years ago. Since then, he has been reduced to begging, pushing himself about the city in a little cart. Bargo recognises you as you approach and greets you with a nod. "Hello, young'un," he says. "Out on your test, eh?" You nod and ask him if he knows anything about brass. He shrugs. Just what everybody knows," he says. "He's a big merchant with a house by the field gate and an office in the Merchants' Guild. Can't be much help, I'm afraid. What will you do next? Thank him and give him a gold piece, turn to 234. Go to the Rat and Ferret, turn to 309. Visit Madame Star, turn to 117, or will you leave the noose and try elsewhere?" Okay, there's Bargo the Wheeler. Okay, we are going to thank him and give him a gold piece, turn to 234. Here we are. Bargo takes the money and shoves it inside his jerkin. "Hang on, young'un," he says, rummaging in a sack which sits behind him in his little cart. "Maybe I can do you some good in return." After a few moments, he pulls out a rope and grapnel. Yeah, grapnel. "There you go," he grins. "I found this a while ago. No good to me, of course, but I'm sure you can put it to some use." You thank Bargo, and he wishes you luck on your test. Add 1 luck point. Okay, we don't need a luck point. While you have the rope and grapnel, you can climb as if you had climb skill, unless a paragraph specifically states otherwise. If you already have climb skill, the rope and grapnel has no effect on your climbing ability. Make a note of the rope and grapnel on your adventure sheet. If you take it, it counts as a backpack item. Okay, so that puts us up to 3. And we have a rope and grapnel. Okay. Oh yeah, -1 gold, of course. Sorry, that puts us down to 4. Effectively, we just bought that for one gold piece. You leave Bargo pushing his cart through the dark alleys and decide on your next move. Will you go to the Rat and Ferret if you haven't already? Turn to 309. Go to see Madame Star if you haven't already. Turn to 117, or you can leave the noose and try elsewhere, turn to 387. Okay, we're going to see Madame Star now, and therefore turning to 117. Off we go. You walk along the noose towards Madame Star's cottage. Your trained eyes pick out a number of beggars, pickpockets, and cut purses skulking in the shadows, but no one bothers you. Everyone in the noose knows that you are an apprentice on your test. Finally, you reach the little tumble-down cottage where Madame Star lives. She is a little surprised when she answers the door, but offers to read your future for 2 gold pieces. If you have 2 gold pieces, turn to 289. If not, or if you do not wish to pay, turn to 64. Okay, we have 2 gold pieces, so we're going to turn to 289. Okay, Madame Star takes your money and leads you into her front parlour. Showing you to a chair, she sits on the other side of the small table and gazes deeply into her crystal ball. Just need to mark off that I've spent 2 gold pieces, so we're down to 2 now. Anyway, and gazes deeply into her crystal ball. She tells you that you are looking for something valuable and that it is hidden in a dark place, a place of death. She says that before you find what you're looking for, you must look in a place of sleep and a place of work. This is an important clue. Make a note of the number of this paragraph on your adventure sheet. You thank Madame Star for her help and leave her cottage. What will you do next? Okay, so we have a clue. So, Madame Star, what paragraph is it again? 289. In the noose. Paragraph 289. There we go. Anyway, what will you do next? Go to the Rat and Ferret if you haven't already, turn to 309. Look for a beggar if you haven't already, turn to 26. Or leave the noose and look elsewhere, turn to 387. Okay, we're going to leave the noose and look elsewhere, and turn to 387. Here we are. You leave the darkened alleyways of the noose and head out into the rest of the town. Where will you go first? To Brass's house, turn to 156, or to the Merchants Guild, turn to 129. Oh, that is the last one. Okay. We're going to go to the Merchants Guild and turn to 129. Okay. The Merchants Guild is on the south side of the market square, opposite the noose. The square is quiet now. All the market stalls have been packed away, and you see no one as you make your way across. You keep to the edge of the square, hugging the shadows. The last thing you want is to be stopped and questioned by the city guard tonight of all nights. Yeah, who don't do a good enough job because there's a thieves' guild in the city. Come on. When you are about halfway across, you suddenly notice a movement among a clump of trees in the middle of the square. If you decide to investigate the movement, turn to 75. If you prefer to ignore it and carry on towards the Merchants Guild, turn to 246. Okay, we're going to ignore it and carry on towards the Merchant Guild and turn to 246. You cross the square to the Merchants Guild. It is an imposing building built in stone and several stories high. Facing onto the square is the great main door, set into a deep doorway and made, so you have heard, of hardwood imported from the far south, even beyond the Desert of Skulls. From the shadows you can see that the door is closed. It is manned by a single armed guard who does not appear to have noticed you. What will you do? Hide and watch the guard, turn to 74. Try to bribe the guard, turn to 345. Or look for another way in, turn to 210. Okay, we're going to look for another way in and turn to 210. And that is where I end the video. So, in the next video, I will be reading paragraph 210. So, 210, and I'll just say unread. There we go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you can join me for the next part of Midnight Rogue. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.